All right. Anyway.
الزملاء الأعزاء، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. نشكر لكم حضوركم هذا الاجتماع والذي سيدعوته الآن على المنصة. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for attending our company announcement. I would like to welcome our Group Managing Director and CEO, Mr. Muhammad Murad, to the stage to share this exciting news with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Abir. Good morning, everyone. I was really surprised to know that we're going to fill more than one screen. It was really great to have you all here today. This is a landmark day for us as a group. Today we're announcing. It's not working. Good morning, everyone. All right, we'll try again. I need to take off this one. I was really surprised. It's live that international more than one screen. Really great to have you all here today. This is a landmark day for us as a group. Today we're announcing. No. Good morning, everyone. All right, let's try again. I need to take off this one. I was really surprised. It's live that international more than one screen. Really great to have you all here today. This is a landmark day for us as a group. Today we're
Start time lucky.
You can blame me for all of this. All right, so good morning, everyone.
These things happen, so it's okay.
It's really fantastic to see this come to life today. It's an important day for me. It's an important day for the whole group, and it's an important day for everyone in all the companies. What we plan to do today is to reveal to you our new brand. It's an exciting moment. It's something that companies do very not very often. And in our case, we're doing this for the first time ever. We're a 30-year-old company. We came up with a brand 30 years ago, and then we came up with another brand 10 years later. And now is the right time to look at this. It's very important to learn about this moment. Not a secret. I'll do the This is a major achievement. What's happening now is the world has changed a lot in the past 50 years, but also the country. Customers are very different from they were 30 years ago. Things that's happening today is that people are, first of all, the population in Saudi is very young. Young people are ruling the world. They're making all the decisions. They are driving the behavior of their whole household. I have kids and I know this. They are the decision makers. And we have to keep up with this. Not only to meet these expectations, but if we really want to be true to our, what we've done so far and continue to lead in this market, we need to aim to exceed these expectations over time. And these consumers, you know, they're really connecting with global brands like never before. You know, all these brands, you know, people are connecting with them in a very visceral, emotional way. You know, sometimes they defend these brands as if they're their own kids or family. And, you know, these global brands have managed to become what they are by investing a lot in these brands. You know, most of these brands mean nothing by themselves. You know, if I tell you Nike, you know, without any context, you know, 100 years ago or 50 years ago, what does it mean? But today, if I tell you Nike, within instantly, you know what it means, you know what it stands for, and so on and so forth. And you know, companies that are hundreds of years old, they continue to invest in their brands. You know, look at Coca-Cola, look at, you know, other brands. And this is a lot of work and a lot of deliberate work that we need to work on. And that's what we need to do. You know, we really want to build a new brand. We need to put all our wood behind this arrow, you know, one arrow that is going to be one of the most admired brands in the region. And the way the way we thought about it is to come up with a promise first, and then try to come up with a word that actually matches this promise. And by the way, it's very, very hard to come up with a word. You know, very hard. There are more brands in the world than words in the dictionary. Okay, so that's I learned this during this project. So let me read this out loud just to make sure I give it justice. So, we want to be the place people come to discover more of their authentic selves, underline authentic selves, inspired by innovative experiences with the world-leading lifestyle brands. You know, actually, the past 11 months since I joined this company, I tried to understand and like articulate what has got us here. Why are we so successful? And you know, it might not seem obvious to all of you today, but I think we're a very innovative company. You know, I really think so. You know, maybe when you look at certain areas today that may feel a bit outdated, you might not get this, but I think we are innovative. You know, I think we're among the first people in this region and in Saudi that brought the best brands of the world to people. We actually pioneered the shopping mall 20 years ago in the region. We've always done this. You know, we've always done new stuff. And I think we should continue on this journey. I think innovation in the future is different than innovation in the past. But the concept of innovation, I think, should stay there. And I think we should all look at it as a way for us to define our future. But given that we're a lifestyle company, given that we have destinations, given that we have brands, I think we have an incredible opportunity to be the only company or the main company in this country that is giving individuals empowerment to be their true self. It's easier said than done, and it's actually a very deep thought, and that's really where we want our brand to stand for. That's the brand, and I think it leaked. I think we all know it. But anyway, I'll pretend that no one saw this before. That's what's going to be. Our brand is going to be Sinomi. Sinomi is not a real word, but it means something. It's actually made up of two sections, Sino and Mi. Sino means new in ancient Greek, and Mi means me. We just put a twist on it and put an I instead of an E at the end. But really the idea is that it is the new me. Sinomi is the new me. Simply. It's better to see I can describe it in many ways. I can say new me and so on, but I think we came up with a video that is fantastic, that really illustrates what we're trying to do. And this video is going to be all over the country, starting today. Let me share it with you, the Arabic version first, followed by the English version.
وقف كذا، سوي زي كذا، كرر وراي، بس خليك مميز. وقف كذا، سوي زي كذا، كرر وراي، بس خليك مميز. العالم دايما شايل همك، العالم يخبرنا كل يوم وش نسوي. خليك مكانك، أو الحين وقتك. عبر عن تميزك. سينومي تعني أنا جديد. أنتي كافية زي ما أنتو. أهلا بكم إلى أبعادكم الجديدة. أهلا بكم إلى سينومي.
Move faster. Slower. Slower. Move faster. Slower. Be authentic. Hold back. Stand out. Blend in. In a world that is always on, isn't it time to turn the noise off? Because being you is already enough. There is a place where you can elevate what's hidden inside, where you can reframe yourself. Sinomi means the new you, the you can step into. Because when we know who we really are, we become unstoppable. Enter new dimensions of you. Sinomi.
Okay. So now some boring stuff, just to share with you, what it is and how we're going to use it. So bear with us. So this is how the logo will look like. It's going to be bilingual, Arabic with English with Arabic. But we can also use the English alone in some cases. We have actually developed an extensive brand guidelines book, which is extremely impressive. Thanks to Mitt and the team, and this is going to be shared with you, and you're going to see, how to use it, what colors, when to use it, when to use what, etc. It's going to be. But let me share with you some topics here. Very good, actually. So I'd really like your attention for 2 minutes. And it's very nuanced. Okay, so please hear me out. First of all, the brand is Sinomi. It's Sinomi, it's Sinomi, it's Sinomi. Everyone, no matter what your company is, the brand is Sinomi. You might have a company name, that's fine. But the brand is Sinomi. It's Coca-Cola. Okay. So if you're Arabian Centers, your company will be called something else, I'm going to talk about it. But your brand is going to be Sinomi. So the brand, our unifying brand, it's one brand, it's called Sinomi. It means the new me. All right. So in many cases, we have to refer to the companies, because we are separate companies, and we have multiple companies today. We're probably going to be even more companies in the future, and we really want to maintain this independence of companies. So I also don't want anyone to think that this is, we don't want to conflate going with one strong unified brand with not having independent companies that are running their own strategy. The benefit of this is that we're going to have one brand, we're going to spend behind that one brand, and we're going to to the world that we are one system that is stronger together. It doesn't mean that we are losing our identity. It's like a family name for, a family. Everyone has a name, but there's one family name. Okay, so that's our family name. Okay, that's our brand. So the names of the companies are also going to change. Arabian Centers, we call it Sinomi Centers. I was actually personally, adamant to keep the word centers, just to leave some reference to the older brand. I think it has a nice, catchy word as well. Sinomi Centers. So we're going to use Sinomi Centers when we issue, let's say, an annual report, or the Dawud, or on the business card. Not the logo, the logo is Sinomi, but the name of the company that you work for will be same thing we decided at the end to call it Sinomi Retail, and this was a very long debate, so maybe I'll give you some insight to this. So, given the sort of creativity of the brand and the mysterious meaning of the brand, we wanted the identifier to be really very simple and indicative of what the company is. So we used to refer to it as what's on the tin. The name is what's on the tin. We do retail, okay, it's called retail. We do centers, it's called centers. We do, payments, so it's okay. Right? So that's how it's going to be. One interesting long debate was, what do we call our e-commerce site? That Paul and the team here are working on. And it wasn't an easy decision. It wasn't an easy intellectual discussion, to be honest. But we ended up choosing the boldest way possible to name the company, which is to put the name of the group on that thing. So we wanted to say, look, what do we call it? It's Sinomi. It's Sinomi.com. It's the Sinomi app. That's it. So no pressure, Paul. It's now you can't fail. So you take us all down with you if you fail. No pressure. No, but on a more serious note, I think we really want to be an innovative company that's targeting the demanding 30-year-old minus, and we want to succeed as a company for the next 20, 30 years. We cannot fail in e-commerce, period. Now we can fail. So, again, Paul, I know you got this. More serious. All right, so in addition to this, we would always look at opportunities that unify us in ways that make sense to the consumer, and in a way that strengthens us as a group. One big example is our rewards program. I don't know if Mohammed is here. Mohammed is here. Big day for Mohammed as well. Today we're launching Sinomi Rewards. Also put what's on the tin on it as a brand. Although we wanted to call it Anthem before, I fought this battle very strongly with Mohammed. And we ended up calling it Sinomi Rewards because it's for all of us. And we're launching it today. I'm very excited to be one of the early customers for Mohammed as well. We're also announcing today our e-commerce ambitions. We're not saying that we're launching, because we're not launching. But we're saying that we're going to launch in 2023, which is around the corner, as you know. But also I would like to announce internally that last week on December 1st, we made the first order on our, I think Paul made the first order, correct? Paul made the first order on the app, and the app product actually got delivered. I don't know, at least this is what he told me. So I think this is, so we had a close friend and family launch, and it's a very close friends and family. They did not even include me in the family, but it's okay. But I think the plan is to launch early next year with the Sinomi.com and the Sinomi app, main app. So Dr. Saleh here today as well. So we have our multiple financial services products that we're gonna launch, including consumer finance and many other things, and they're all gonna be under the banner of Sinomi Pay, which is also an interesting way to call the company. All right, so that's effectively how things will look. So a letterhead, this is, the logo on the letterhead is always Sinomi. So I know I'm repeating myself, but it's really important. It took me some time to understand this concept of a monolithic brand. But you can always put Sinomi Centers as the company, but the logo is the logo, and it's Sinomi. Same thing applies to the business cards. So if you see the business card on the left, this is Allison's business card. The logo is Sinomi, right? But it says CEO Sinomi Centers, so there's reference to the company as well. What's interesting also is the icon. So our app will look. This is the app icon, and it can be used also in different applications. We've also come up, and you'll see in the brand guideline, you'll also see a lot, the color palette that we're going to use. It's a very wide color palette, but it's going to keep the same theme. But what's interesting is that the rule of thumb that we're going to follow is for B2B communication, we're going to use the deep aubergine color, which is the one at the top. But for consumer-facing communication, is going to be more the fuchsia color, pink. I'm a simple person. All right. These are the next steps. Okay. I wrote them here so that I don't have to turn my head. So obviously this morning, we have to announce this. We're two public companies. The Tadawul ticker will become Sinomi Centers and Sinomi Retail starting today, if that works with Tadawul, but we've already communicated. There's a tripartite press release going out as well, and it's basically the group, ACC and AFR joining forces to launch a leading brand. That's how it looks. There's a quote from Sheikh Fawaz, there's a quote from me, and there's a quote from Allison. And we describe what we're trying to do. We're going to share the guidelines with everyone. I think you've already seen some mysterious emails in your inboxes in the past few days. All of us will be first name dot last name at Sinomi.com. It's stressful, but it's okay. You can live with it, don't worry. It's going to be fine. It's easy when you're using it and giving it away, trust me. We also launched a corporate website, group corporate website. We actually didn't have a group website until today, in 2022. So now we have one. We have reskinned ACC and AFR websites with the Sinomi brand, but we're going to redo them from scratch starting tomorrow. All right, starting next year. It's December. But yeah, so we need to have the best websites for our companies, no question. We can't launch the leading e-commerce company and we don't have a good website. It just doesn't work. It's not a good look. The most exciting thing is that we're launching a massive nationwide advertising campaign. The whole country is going to know. The whole country is going to see these videos. And it's not only these videos, because this is basically a brand video, brand awareness video. But there's also out of home, there's also a lot of work that we're going to do in social media, digital, YouTube, everywhere, malls, wherever you go. If you're in Saudi, you're not going to miss our new brand. Finally, and really, last but not least, is the corporate values, the company values. Where Susan, Susan's here. I think we've spent a lot of time trying to articulate company values that match this brand, but at the same time are not too restrictive for each company to sort of adapt it to what it is. Okay? And it's going to be very interesting. You're going to see it as well. And we can also obviously iterate if we have to. All right, so with that, I think that's all. Sorry for the technical glitches. Sorry to keep you waiting. I know it's going to take that long. We're going to celebrate today. You're going to, when you go back to your offices, you're going to see some goodies and some nice sweets and stuff like that. But before we do that, I want to leave some opportunities for Q&A. So if you have any questions, happy to spend the next, how much? 30 minutes, maybe? If there are any questions. But, if you want to go back to the cupcakes, feel free. And the ice cream. Yeah, and the ice cream. But happy to take any questions. I know this is a lot to take in and a lot to unpack, but it's a big moment. I'm very excited. Also, one final learning is that I don't know if you know what Toyota means. Toyota means rice patty, which means nothing. But they ended up making it the best brand, one of the best brands in the world. So really think about this as the platform for us to build the best brand. And it's not about the name, it's about what we do out of it, what we make out of it. Okay? And I think we have amazing plans to do it. And we need to do it all together, including all the companies in the group. Actually, the companies will have to do most of the work, unfortunately. Yeah, so if you don't love it, it's fine, because you're going to love it eventually. It's very hard to love a word at first sight. So if you didn't hate it, it's a very good sign. Okay? All right, so I'll wrap up here, and if you have any questions, please, there's a mic here.
First of all, congratulations to the team. Question, so the name has Greek origins. How do we make sure that Sunomi connects with Arabic culture?
It's a very good question. I think that the name really is not that important. It's hard to say this after we spent 10 months trying to come up with a name. I think we wanted to make sure that the brand is connected to the person, irrespective of the language. I think the me in Sunomi is where we're gonna really underline. And if you see the campaign, when we say authentic self, when we say really go and try to be unstoppable, and things like that. So we're underlining the me. I would have loved to find an Arabic word that had a me and a mu that works with a .com and all of that, but there's a lot of limitations when you come up with a name, that works in any country, that works and you have the local domain, you have all the domains, a word that is easy to say in any language, doesn't have a kh and a p and a lot of small nuances, okay, that I'm not going to bore you with. So I think also having some aspirational angle is also interesting. So I'm not worried about that part, as long as we keep on hammering the you part of it, or the me part of it. This is where the whole campaign is actually hinging on. Mif, do you have anything else would add to this? Do you agree with what I said? Yeah. Okay. Question up there.
Hello, good morning. I am Nawaf Sharani. I'm founder of Swaya Media Production Company and employee at NESC. Yeah, I agree with you. It's all about good and real authentic story. So I agree with you. It's all about advertising also. So you have to spend a lot of money of that also if you want to successful of that. Yeah. So thank you.
You're welcome. Where do you work?
NESC.
No. Where do you work?
I'm founder of Soya Media Production for documentaries and podcasts also.
No, but where do you work today?
At NESC.
No.
For Zanokir.
No?
Tsunami, yeah.
All right, okay. If you want me to redo the whole presentation, I could probably do it better than the first time. So what was your question?
Thank you, and congratulations again to everyone who worked on this. I know it was a huge effort. What I wanted to ask is, how should we, as employees of Sonomi, speak to people about it? Is there anything in particular from a messaging point of view, any topics to avoid, anything to hit on that you would recommend?
I think the key message is that we want to be, if not the most, but one of the most admired brands in the region. Okay? Really as simple as that. And to be an admired brand, it's not enough to, as our NESC colleague mentioned, we need to advertise. It's one of the really important parts, but it's not sufficient. It's necessary, not sufficient. We need to live the brand in everything that we do. We need to be, if you want to be an admired brand, you need to have admired products. You need consumers to admire you, of course. You need to be an admired company to work for. You know, we need to be admired by our partners. We're a partner-first company. Everything that we do is partner-first. We represent brands that are our partners. In the malls business, we do nothing but provide a platform to our partners to succeed. In our e-commerce company, we're building a platform for our partners. We're a partnership company. And if our partners don't admire us, if they're scared of us, or they are, I don't know, think we are exercising, arm twisting them, whatever, they're not going to admire us. So I think really we need to live the brand more than what we, more important than what we say to people. But I'm very, very, very clear about what we want to do. We want to be the best company in Saudi and beyond, and part of that, we need to have one of the best brands. Shafi, do we need to give the other rooms some opportunities to ask as well?
It's coming through.
It's coming through the Q&A. Okay.
Yeah, hi Mohammed. Question, is there international colleagues going to be also on the Sonomi?
The answer is yes. And actually, while we always say, we want to be the best brand in Saudi and so on, and, I try to be very careful. We want to be the #1 Saudi originating brand, but our aspiration as a company is way beyond Saudi. Let's put it this way. You know, I actually think we are massively underinvested internationally. Today, 90% of our business in AFR is in Saudi, and 100% of ACC is in Saudi. I don't think we will be the leading player in the next 20 to 30 years if we stay in Saudi. Okay? And I don't think we will be the most admired brand in the region if on aggregate we're 5% of our business is outside of Saudi. Okay? Why? Because, you know, first of all, there is diversification, you know, that you need to diversify as a company. You know, what if something happens in Saudi? And we've seen it, you know. VAT goes up, we suffer for 3 years, right? Something, you know, specific happens in one country, you know, you suffer. So you need diversification. 2, your competitors are all international. So eventually they're gonna be at a better situation, eventually. 3, you wanna hire the best of the best. You wanna find them everywhere, okay? And some people prefer a certain country, some people want to live in another country, and I think it's quite limiting to say I'm only going to be in one country if you are ambitious enough. So I think we need to be more careful by giving a little bit more love to our international teams, but more importantly, we need to give more love to our international strategy. We have a stated ambition, actually, as a group, to be more than 25% from our business from international. Today it's 5, less than 5. Okay, and as you all know, you know, I don't know if Marwan is on the live stream. You know, Marwan has been tasked with this humongous, you know, ambition to find a way for us to go internationally. It might not look the same. It might not look exactly the way we're doing it right now. It might be through. We might lead with e-commerce, or we might lead with retail, or we might lead with, you know, or it might not be the integrated retail play that we have in Saudi. May or may not. It doesn't have to be, you know. And so we're currently spending a lot of time trying to understand, you know, what's the best way to grow this business to become a regional business at least. We're not going to go to the US and Latin America and, you know, China and so on. But I think within the Middle East and North Africa, there's an important, significant opportunity, and CIS. And CIS has been performing fantastically well the past few years, despite the fact that we haven't been giving it a lot of love. Okay, I think we need to give it more love. Everyone works for Cenomi, including our colleagues in Armenia, Georgia, and Kazakhstan, and all the other countries. Sorry, Shafiq, long answer to a very specific question. I was opportunistic here.
Well, first, thank you, Murad, and congrats to everyone. Just a question regarding the colors. Like, what's behind the colors, and what if the company decides to go into different sectors, like in automotive, telecom? Are you going to keep on creating different colors? I think it's a bit confusing. That's my personal opinion.
It's a really, really actually great question. And it's funny because this is how we started. Initially, you know, sometime in the middle of the process, we said, why don't we give every company a color? You know, and so AFR would use, I don't know, yellow. Again, I'm making it up. ACC would use this and that. And, it didn't work. Okay. First of all, you know, the nice colors are not too many, so you don't want to disadvantage the newer companies, you know, with colors that, you know, were taken. But also, it's very confusing, and it doesn't fit what we're trying to do here, which is a monolithic, one brand, Imagine you have a Coca-Cola logo or a Pepsi logo that is different in different countries. One country is red and blue, and other countries is green and yellow. It just doesn't work. Okay? So if we really want to, as I said, spend, it's very costly to build brands. If we're going to have 10 brands and go and make them the best brands, first of all, the chances of success are lower. Second, it's going to cost you 10 times more. Okay? So I think unifying one brand, however, we took this into account when we came up with the guidelines, and you're going to see the guidelines. There's a lot of freedom in the guidelines. We even have traffic lights. I almost got a heart attack. Red, green, yellow. So there's a lot of room, and it's all going to feel, within the same sort of color palette, but there's a lot of room for creativity. Good question. It's just too hard to start fragmenting by color. You want to switch to the other questions from other rooms? Is this doable? Last chance, if you have any. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Actually, sorry. Before you leave, I just want to thank Myth and the team, because first of all, I don't think you've slept in the past week, have you? And as you've seen this morning, imagine this is just what could go wrong in a speech. Imagine how many million things went wrong in the past week, including last night at 10 p.m. where we were deciding whether one of the websites would be up or not up. It's very complex, very stressful. So thank you very much. Not only Myth, but the hundreds of people that worked on this. From all the companies. I think David is not with us here, Susan, of course, and many other people. I think Danny is not in the room. Some people actually left the company, but I also want to thank Mohammed and Tahsin. I don't know if Tahsin is here. A lot of people worked on this. It looks easy that, hey, there's the name, there's the color, but it's one of the most difficult exercises. Not only to come up with a name, but to come up with a name that works for a malls business and a fashion business, and in every country, and for an e-commerce website, or not website, platform, sorry, and to be future-proof. So really, thank you very much, Myth and team. Thank you all. Now we can go to your topics.